You know, deep inside your body, right this very second, there's this constant, microscopic conversation going on. It's like a high-stakes intelligence operation happening billions of times a day. And honestly, it's the only thing standing between you and every single germ you meet. So what exactly is this conversation, and how in the world does it work? Let's dive in.
So, what is this secret conversation? Well, it's the real-time communication happening inside your immune system. And we're not talking about just a brute force battle here. No, this is way more sophisticated. Think of it like a full-on campaign of espionage, secret messages, and perfectly targeted strikes.
All right, so to really get this, you first have to meet the two main armies that make up your body's entire defense force.
On one side, you've got the innate system. These are your first responders. Think of them like the local police or firefighters. They're always on patrol, ready to react in a split second, but their approach is pretty general. Then on the other side, you have the adaptive system. Now these are your elite special forces. They are incredibly powerful, surgical in their precision, but they need to be activated and given very, very specific orders before they'll go into action. So that innate system really is your first wall of defense. But if anything gets past that wall, its internal defenses kick right in. These are the frontline troops basically, just holding the line while those more specialized forces get their mission briefing.
Okay, so let's get to know those special forces. We're going to zoom in on one of the most important players in the whole adaptive system, the T cell.
T cells are the assassins. Seriously, they have the power to hunt down and destroy infected cells with deadly precision. But there's a catch. When they're first made, they're what immunologists call naive. Basically, they're powerful, but they're dormant. Imagine a highly trained soldier just waiting in the barracks for a mission, but with absolutely no idea who or what the enemy even looks like.
And that right there, that brings us to the core of our story. How does this sleeping giant, this T cell, get woken up and told precisely which virus or which bacteria it needs to hunt down out of the trillions of other things in your body?
The answer, it turns out, lies with another, kind of unsung hero of the immune system, the Master Intelligence Officer. This is a cell that bridges that gap between the first responders and the elite special forces. So meet the dendritic cell. Its whole job is to patrol your body's tissues, and when it finds an invader, it doesn't just destroy it. Nope, it acts like a crime scene investigator. It captures the enemy, breaks it down into pieces, and collects the evidence. These little bits are called antigens. And this isn't some science fiction animation. This is a real image of that process kicking off. I mean, just look at how this cell is physically reaching out its arms to grab onto those bacteria. This is happening on a microscopic battlefield inside you at this very moment. It's incredible. And here's the next step in the investigation. The cell literally swallows the bacteria. It pulls it inside into a little bubble and then merges that bubble with what's basically a tiny stomach full of digestive enzymes. This completely dismantles the invader, which lets the cell collect all the key identifying pieces it needs. All right, so now with this critical piece of intel, which is basically a molecular wanted poster for the bad guy, the dendritic cell leaves the battlefield. It travels through your lymphatic system to the nearest command center, which is a lymph node, and that's where all those naive T cells are just waiting for their orders. What happens next is the secret conversation. It's the most critical briefing in your entire body. It's the moment where that intelligence gets handed off and a whole army gets activated. Scientists have a name for it, T-cell priming.
And research shows this whole briefing happens in 3 distinct phases. First up, for about 8 hours, is scanning. It's like cellular speed dating. The naive T cells are just bouncing around, quickly scanning tons of different dendritic cells, looking for the one that has the matching wanted poster. Then comes phase 2, lock-in. Once a match is found, they form this super stable connection that can last for up to 24 hours. This isn't a quick handshake. This is the full, in-depth mission briefing. And finally, activation. The T cell gets its orders, it detaches, and then it starts multiplying like crazy, building an entire army of clones, all programmed to hunt that one specific enemy.
And get this is where it gets just unbelievably efficient. This isn't a one-on-one meeting. The research actually shows that a single dendritic cell can brief up to 10 T cells at the same time. It is a master class in multitasking, all designed to build that army as fast as humanly possible. One intelligence officer launching a massive coordinated attack.
Now, I know what you're probably thinking. This is a fantastic story, but it's happening deep inside a tiny lymph node on a scale we can barely imagine. How on earth could we possibly know this is what's actually going on?
And that's a great question, because for the longest time, we couldn't. This entire process was a complete
black box. But then, a technological revolution in microscopy changed absolutely everything.
The breakthrough was a technology called intravital multiphoton microscopy. Yep, it's a mouthful, I know. But what it means is that scientists can now use these powerful lasers to peer deep inside the tissues of a living, breathing animal and watch these individual immune cells interacting in real time. They can literally watch the battle as it happens.
And what they see is just astounding. By tagging different cells with fluorescent colors, they can basically turn the lymph node into a light show. They can see a single dendritic cell, glowing yellow, and then, swarming all around it, a whole cluster of bright red T cells. They can watch them scan, lock in for hours, and then peel away. They're literally watching this secret conversation, this mission briefing, happen right before their eyes.
It's just a stunning reminder that your body isn't some static machine. It's a dynamic universe of trillions of cells constantly talking, scouting, and defending you. Which kind of leaves you with one final thought. If this is just one of those conversations, what other incredible, secret conversations are happening inside you right now to keep you alive?